Okay, hello everybody. We're going to be doing a 3DS versus Nintendo Switch video. So I'll have to explain the tier list kind of thing. It's a table and HTML. So the pros and cons, yeah, there's this stuff. So you have the new 3DS XL large and then Knuckles 2DS Nintendo Switch. Pros and cons. That's the important stuff. Met is just minor nitpicks. Let's get into it. So, with the 3DS, new 3DS Extra Large, it's slim, it has a stylus, it has free internet and online services. Unlike the Nintendo Switch, which has overpriced games, like $300, can't play games from previous consoles, online membership service, which has never been done before and should never be done again. Because free internet is better. You shouldn't have to pay to use your own internet. Okay, so it's slim, has a stylus, has free internet and online services. It can play DS games, has an amazing charger. It's not USB though, but it's still great compared to like all the other ones, since it's like one of the only handhelds that isn't a Game Boy. Okay, it has a search engine. Keep that in mind, because this one doesn't. Its gimmicks don't intrude on gameplay. It has amazing motion controls. As 3 mode works now, actually. It got fixed. They fixed 3D mode. You'll have to update the system, mind, but it works now. Best model costs less than the original at $200, which was $250 on launch, whereas the Switch cost $300 at launch. And shop menu has a cool mascot. Like, $200 is how much a Switch Lite is. That much. The cons, just 3 mode can hurt your eyes. And yeah, I guess it doesn't have as good of games. But this isn't about the games. Switch is like would win if it were about games. Like 3DS is second pick to that because it's the older version. As a console, I'm trying to prove that 3DS is superior. So yes, Nintendo has good games. It plugs into the TV. You can play things like Just Dance. Main thing, that's why it's good. It's not because the console itself is good compared to the 3DS. So yeah, the best model costs less than the original, and the shop menu has a cool mascot. So if we go over here, found this one, right, I guess. Let's look here. This was a thing. There was this, and you see the guy, that's the little guy, that's the shop mascot. And there are other things in the shop, but it had that animation. And I thought it was different, actually. I thought the shop mascot was more on it there, like, just to the side. But, like, you can see, it had an animation, and it's not on the Switch. Okay, so let's get back into it. Yeah, the 2DS was interesting. It only cost $130 at launch, which is less than the Xbox One costs currently. And it was bulky, it couldn't fold, must have paid $20 for the new 2DS XL Knuckles. You also got the no 3D mode to destroy your eyes with which could arguably be seen as meh. So yeah, you got over here, you got stuff, and it's actually pretty pricey. You can't actually find them, they're not that cheap. Not anymore, they're $400. It's $227 for an original. You also got the 2DS Extra Large, and at that point, you probably should just go back to, yeah. See, I got the thing by Cheesy AFJ. Cool channel. So yeah, there's this. I don't know if I mentioned this. Cool meme for engagement. So yeah, there's this. Now let's look at the cons of the Switch. It's a Joy-Con drift. I assure you that probably does not need introduction. But basically, press a direction on. Typically, I think it's on the left stick. Press a direction. Well, actually, no. You don't press a direction and it's moving anyways. That's what it is. That's Joy-Con drift. Also, my R button's not working. No stylus, which isn't a problem. However, it's bulky. Though that's arguably meh. It's not a downside, kinda. Has overpriced games. Like, seriously, that's an actual problem about the games. It cost $300 at launch. And it's worse. That's what I'm getting at. Light version costs $200, which is as much as the better version of the 3DS. As you can see right there. Okay, anyways, yes. It has horrible ergonomics. Like, the light only costs $200. You saw that there. That cost $1.220. That's only, like, light's only... And the light, yeah, that probably costs a bit more, too. So, yeah, you have horrible ergonomics on the Switch compared to the 3DS. I guess I should put a con there. Or meh, at least. No search engine, which has been in the past 3 console handhelds. And the charger itself's fine. The location on the console sucks. Like, it's on the back of the console then that faces towards you. And it wouldn't be that much of a problem if you put it on the other side for dock mode, which plugs into the TV. Why wasn't it on the other end like the 3DS did? It was great, and they just got rid of it for no foreseeable reason. And lastly, you can't play games from the previous console, which has been like in almost like that's like every other Nintendo console, I dare say it. That's in every other Nintendo console. The older one. Except the first one. But that had no previous consoles. Super Nintendo. Game Boy. Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Color. DS. 3DS. Can play DS games. So yeah, that's the video. Glad you liked it. Please like and subscribe. Yeah, I think that's about it. And again, thank you Cheesy AFJ for making good music and hopefully not copyright striking me. And thank you YouTube for also not doing that. I'm putting this in the video.